Please allow me to share a parable by the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard. After a man's Christmas Eve party had ended and the guests had all left, the man thought it be best to have a calming drink before heading to bed. As he looked out his large picture window at the snowy backdrop, pondering the meaning of Christmas and the Incarnation, he noticed some geese pecking the ground looking for water. Now the man knew of a pond just 30 yards from the geese that they could pluck through the ice and find water to drink. The man wanted to go out there himself to move the geese closer to the water. But he knew that if he did that, the geese would get scared and would fly away. So the man thought to himself, if only I could become one of them, then they would trust me and follow me to the water. And that's when it hit him. That's the meaning of the Incarnation. That's why God became man. That's the meaning of Christmas. All of Advent, we sang the great song, or heard it, or had it stuck in our heads, O come, Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God is with us. My sisters and brothers, God is certainly with us, and He is still walking with us to the water. When the Word became flesh in Jesus Christ, it took great eyes of faith to see God in a baby whose home was a barn, whose bed was a trough that animals ate out of, and whose parents were homeless at the time of his birth. Look at this creche. Does this look like a king? No. Does this look like how any of us live? No. But this is how the King of Kings chose to live. This is the man who would free us from sin. My brothers and sisters, Christ is still present among us. Just as it took great eyes of faith for shepherds and scientists and drummer boys to see in this poor, homeless, and dirty child a king and Lord, it takes just as great eyes of faith to see the same King and Lord in what appears to be bread and wine in the Eucharist. It takes the same great eyes of faith to see the same King and Lord in the person sitting next to you, behind you, across the dinner table from you, in line tomorrow at the store as you return gifts, in the parking lot after Mass, even driving down Montrose. And it certainly takes great eyes of faith to see Jesus in this sinner standing in front of you right now. Christ is within us all. Christ is the Eucharist. We all come to this beautiful church this morning with many things on our hearts and minds. Some of us are really struggling with something emotionally, physically, mentally. Some of us have someone very close to us who is struggling. Some of us just feel lost confused and in need of guidance, and we don't really know where to turn. Friends, turn to Jesus. Run, don't walk to Jesus. The almighty, ever-living, omnipotent, omnipresent God became a human being. He walked our walk, talked our talk, died our death, and rose from the dead so that we would be healed and set free from all the struggles that we face. There is a resurrection beyond the cross, and Christ is here. Christ is born. Christ is risen. Christ became one of us so that we wouldn't be scared of God as they were in the Old Testament. Christ humbled himself so we would walk with him to salvation with faith, hope, and love. This morning, I'm inviting you all to let the Christ child be born in your hearts. Allow Jesus to live in the messiness of your lives. As he was born in this stinky, messy, dirty cave of Bethlehem, let Jesus in and let him clean the mess that you feel your life is in right now. And start to become Jesus. Become who you will receive in the Eucharist this morning. Let him in. Become him. Rise with him. Become the light of Christ. The light of the human race. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. A blessed Christmas to you all.